Hello friends, I am Megan with Meeg's Readings. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I do psychic readings, tarot, and all kinds of witchy goodness to help you live a more connected and empowered life. And yeah, I'm reading some of this off of a script because I am changing some things up and memorization is not my strong suit, guys. I put all my memorization power into learning the cards. Anyway, let's get on with it. Today's topic is, how do you know if your tarot reading is accurate? And if it's not, what do you do? First of all, some signs that your reading is accurate. Does it resonate? Does it feel right? As your reader is explaining to you what the cards are telling them, does it feel right? Does it sound accurate? Does it apply to your life? Does it apply to your situation? Number 2, it confirms what you've already suspected. A lot of times, tarot does its best work in telling us what is. It is not its best at telling us what will be or what was, but telling us what is. It can do the other things. Don't get me wrong. If you've had a reading and they made a prediction and it came true, it's because tarot can do that, but it's not its primary use. Its primary use is for what is. So if you've got a reader that is telling you everything about your life or about a situation and you're wondering, what the heck, how do they know that? It's because they know that. It's because the cards are telling them that, and they are connected to you, to your life, and to your spirit, and they're actually hearing the messages that they need to hear to pass on to you. You feel seen. Sometimes a tarot reading or any other kind of psychic reading can feel very empowering and showing you what your strengths are. It can feel very difficult when it brings up difficult emotions. So sometimes it's about grief. Sometimes it's about a relationship that is not working. Sometimes it's about another kind of situation that is just really hard and weighing heavily on you. Tarot will uncover it. So if that is happening and you're having a very strong emotional response, it's okay. It's actually a good sign. Sometimes I joke that if I haven't made a client cry that day, I have not done my job, because it means I have not hit home. And that is what I want to do. I want you, my client, to feel seen. There's a flow to the story. It's number 4. It's another sign. The cards should connect to one another. Now, sometimes, because there's so many combinations of how the cards will end up laid out, sometimes it takes us readers a minute to look at the cards and figure out, okay, what are they saying in the context of the question that was asked? But we should be able to do it. If they seem very disjointed, then the reader is not getting it, or something is off, and we're going to get to that in the next section. So if there's a flow to the story and they're able to tell you exactly what the cards mean, just boom, 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 you're in good shape. So yeah, next section. What if the reading feels off? What the heck are you going to do? And how should you know? What things should you be looking for? So first of all, sometimes it's you. Not always. Sometimes it's just a bad reading, but sometimes it's you. If you are not bringing your energy in a grounded and focused way into that reading, sometimes the cards will reflect that. If your brain is all scattered, your cards might come out all scattered. And so if you have a good reader, they'll see that, identify the problem, restart, maybe do some grounding, some breathing with you, and try it again. Sometimes the right question was not asked. Part of the skill of reading tarot is learning to formulate good questions that tarot can answer. Because again, it's a very specific tool. So just like it's best at answering questions about what is, the more open-ended you leave the question, the more open-ended your answer might be. So instead of, am I going to have a job tomorrow? ask, what is happening with my job? What if I go and look for another job? Get more specific, but allowing for nuance other than a yes and no question. We can do yes and no questions, but they're not the best. But also, if you just say job, what about it? What about your job? And that applies to many other subjects as well. So between you and your reader, you should be able to come up with a good question that addresses the concern that you walked into that reading with, or something that came up in response to some things that they have already read for you. Sometimes you are not ready to hear the message. Most of the time, most people are. So don't discount a message, though, that doesn't immediately resonate with you. If you walk out of there feeling like, I did not connect with this reading and with this reader at all, then what I want you to do is go home or somewhere peaceful where you can have some quiet time to reflect, to journal about the reading, and see if anything changes. Because there have been a handful of times for me personally, and I know this happens to other readers as well, that the person wasn't ready. They asked the question, they did not like the answer. Not liking the answer, not being ready for the answer is very different than getting the wrong answer. You can get the wrong answer. I'm not saying that we're perfect. Readers are human. We make mistakes. And sometimes we just are having troubles connecting to what we need to connect to in that moment. But that said, I want you to go home and I want you to reflect on what was said to you, because maybe you're also just having that human response of, I don't want to hear that. It happens. Okay, and then lastly, maybe it's not the right time. I have had people ask me questions, and I have drawn cards, I have talked to spirit guides, and the message over and over again is, not right now. They don't get that answer right now. They have to wait. And that can be for whatever reason. I am not here to question spirit guides other than to ask them for information that they are willing to give me to pass on to my client. So that happens. And I am very upfront with my clients if that's what seems to be happening. It doesn't happen often. It more often happens when asking about the future than anything else. Occasionally it happens with present questions, but yeah, timing is everything. And we are not meant to know everything all at once, as much as most of us would love to have that information at our fingertips whenever we desire it. And then lastly, sometimes the reading's just off. Like I said, we readers are human. And so if you think that you got a bad reading or an incorrect reading, go get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be prepared to pay all over again. But yeah, definitely you can get a second opinion. And I am not ever offended if someone goes to another reader to just double check that things are what they think that they are. I think that's it. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you in the next one.